Recording from Chester County, Pennsylvania, this is Coast to Coast Sports, your weekly breakdown of the Philadelphia Eagles, Los Angeles Rams, and NFL teams from around the league. We're recapping last week, previewing what's ahead, and bringing you all the takes in between.
Welcome to Coast Sports. My name is Ryan, here with Corey Pritchard and the Mike Carnuccio, as he does to me every week. Mike's coming off. I don't see Mike wearing chains this week. All good.
I know, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, saving him for the future.
Yeah, pretty easy week from a prediction standpoint, I think, for us three. But before I get to that, this episode is sponsored by Mike's Own Practice, Restorative Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation in Thorndale, PA. One of the only private physical therapy practices in Chester County, offering one-to-one care with a licensed physical therapist, with Mike himself. This is his cell number, by the way. I'm just kidding. Call 484-378-7987 to book an appointment.
Okay, Ryan, do you want me to get a cell number and give it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously the Eagles were on a bye last week. There are some Howie Roseman trades that were made that we'll kind of get into, but we'll start off with the NFL game of the week. Los Angeles Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, the Saints have not had a great year. Rams, I think, cooked them as expected. Stafford had 4 touchdown passes. Stafford is actually, I think he's tied for third or he's fourth now in the MVP odds on FanDuel.
So he's gone up since last week then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously an amazing performance by the Rams. Corey was actually the closest with his prediction, even though we all got it right. So love to kind of dive into some takeaways. Obviously, the Saints aren't a great team, but it's still hard to win in this league, and the Rams still kind of took care of business. So, Mike, we're actually going to start with you. So first question is, any takeaways from the game? And then kind of with the MVP conversation, Stafford's obviously been in the league for years and years. And now he's third or fourth. I think he's almost tied with Mahomes. Drake May and Josh Allen currently have better odds than him. So thoughts on takeaways from the game, along with kind of Stafford and the MVP conversation now that he has kind of Davante Adams.
Yeah. So initial takeaway would be, it was just pure domination. The Saints suck, as we know. However, as we saw with other teams, Packers not taking care of the Panthers, Lions not taking care of the Vikings.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how easy the team is; you got to take care of business. And I feel like the story, I love certain stat lines that you can look at, and you're just like, okay, they own them. And for me, it was the first downs. So the Saints had 10, and the Rams had 30. I have never seen 30 first downs in a game. I've never seen it. Dude, that's
times.
That is
crazy.
Yeah. We are going to own you, and we're going to do it slowly and methodically. We're going to take the knife, slide it in slowly, and just start twisting it until you're dead.
Do you see the time of possession difference?
Oh my gosh, 43, literally almost 44 minutes with 30 first downs. That's insane. That's just to me. The score, yeah, go ahead. The score doesn't always give the story. 34-10, great, but we'll get into the special teams for the Rams, which will cost them later this year. But if the special teams should show up normally, it's 38-10. It's going to easily have been 45-10.
Yeah.
So sorry. That's one of my big takeaways. It's just complete domination. I think and I'm interested to hear Corey's take on this. We know that the connection with Stafford and Nacua is there, and the question has been, will it continue to develop with Davante Adams? And it continues to. You see specifically in the red zone.
The red zone, Adams, that's what I was going to say.
Unstoppable in terms of getting in. Now, Nacua will always lead the team in receptions, which is fine. That's how you want it to be functionally. But the threat of Davante Adams around the red zone is getting prominent. I mean, it's like every week now. It's 1 or 2 touchdowns sometimes. So I just think that connection, and I keep harping. I think almost every week when I talk about the Rams, I talk about him and the Adams connection, primarily because we know the Nacua connection is there, but that's not enough to go win a Super Bowl. Like you need to have a consistent connection with Davante Adams. He has to be a threat on the field. And I think that was what was lacking for the Rams last year in the playoffs. I think that they had the Nacua, but outside of that, it was like Cooper Kupp really wasn't relevant. Higbee was there, but it's like so the Adams piece is what makes the Rams a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Did your opinion of the defense change at all?
So I guess the reason it's hard is because it's the Saints offense, and it's the Tyler. I mean, what's shot? What is his last name?
Let me give you a stat real quick and see if your opinion changes at all. There's only one team in the entire NFL that has more points against, and that's the Texans, or less points against. So Texans have 121, the Rams have 127. So yes, part of that story is the teams you're playing. We've played the Saints and Titans. That's not going to help anything. But like you said, it's still hard. It's still hard to win in this league, regardless.
It is. No, and so like if we look at your last couple matchups, right? You Saints score 10, Jags score 7, Ravens score 3 without Lamar. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Even when you consider backups and stuff, to only have 127 points scored against you, there's definitely a defensive aspect to that has surprised me.
Yes. I think I'll be more interested to see when there's a matchup that is like you guys could get torched. So like we just saw Darnold torch Washington on Sunday Night Football. When he shows up to your house in 2 weeks on the 16th, like you guys have this is your slate right now. Niners, Seahawks, Buccaneers. Like this is a huge 3 weeks for you guys to really like, hey, can you at least be at like 8-3 after those games?
I think it's an opportunity to prove to the league that we are a top tier team.
Yeah.
I think we are. I think you can see it. I think the first, even though we lost to the Eagles, the fact that it pretty much came down to a blocked field goal was a big statement. And then we went and we beat Indianapolis the week later. And Baltimore, Jacksonville hasn't been too bad. I think that was a decent win. But New Orleans and 49ers were so banged up, we shouldn't have lost that. And Baltimore.
This is why the Rams aren't being taken seriously enough. It's just their matchups. I just think, again, when it's the Jags and it's the Saints and the Ravens without Lamar, no one's really going to take them seriously until they play legit contenders. So when they go to San Fran and they play Seattle and they play the Bucs, if they win 2 out of 3 games, I expect the media to start really talking about the Rams. Just like, hey, this is a legit contender in the NFC. They have a chance to especially with the Lions and the Packers dropping those games now. Yeah. You're like, door open for the Eagles and Rams now in terms of seeding. Now there's still so much to play.
The Rams need to win 2 of the next 3.
Yeah, that's it. They don't need to win all 3 because then you guys will go Panthers, Cardinals, and so it'll get really interesting. So I would say yes. I a couple weeks ago was calling the Rams corners some of the worst in the league. Now, one, they picked up McCreary, which is a big improvement already. Forbes just had that interception. I personally think Forbes is trash, but cool.
He's the old Washington guy, right?
Yes, dude, and I don't think he's that good. But look, at the end of the day, it's been proven in the NFL that if your D-line gets enough pressure, it can make up for poor corner play. And so my perspective of the Rams is that if McCreary comes in, he improves that secondary, and the D-line continues to get pressure the way they do, especially against these better quarterbacks, they won't get burned the same. But, it'll be interesting. I really want to see it.
I love how if we can model what the Eagles did last year and even this year, like bend, don't break.
Yes.
That gives you enough time for your D-line to eventually get to the quarterbacks. If you do that a whole drive, eventually your D-line will get there and you're just constantly giving up maybe 4 or 5 yard passes. There's not many quarterbacks anymore in the league that can really expose that. One that came to mind is Drew Brees. He always that never worked against Drew Brees because he will have it 80% completion all day and he'll just take the 5 yard route all day long, all day. You don't see that as much in the NFL nowadays with the more running quarterbacks. It's just a different play style. But I think if the Rams can keep that up, it's going to be interesting over the next 3 weeks with 49ers, Seahawks, Tampa Bay. Because Seahawks are looking good right now. 49ers, I'm going to say the Rams just always struggle versus the 49ers.
Kryptonite core.
Dude, and your division just got legit. I mean, right now it's 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. So
it's the NFC West every year.
I mean, and then 2-5, dude. 2-5 Cardinals.
Don't forget about the Cardinals, man.
And Kyler Murray's out tonight.
Gannon is such a twerp. That guy should not be an NFL coach.
Dude, like, have you seen his
yes, in the locker room, dude.
He was like, pew, 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 pew. Like, dumb. He was interviewing, like, he was talking to his defensive player. He's like, all right, this is the route. This is what I want you to do. Pew, 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 pew. And he's making these Star Wars noises. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
Is this guy like an idiot, or is he like smart? He just can't communicate well. Like,
I think it's that. He's smart. He can't communicate well.
He has to be smart to even be in the situation that he's in.
Yeah, for sure.
But he should not be a head coach anymore. Like, he needs to get fired soon. So the other thing, before we get into the Stafford MVP case, I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, dude. Cardi misses an extra point.
Oh, my word. I know.
And a field goal.
It's getting bad.
Dude, this is exactly what
What's up with him
last year.
Yeah.
This is exactly what
I just don't think he's our long-term solution. I think he'll be off the team.
Okay, because my question to you was going to be exactly that. How committed do you think the Rams are to him? Because
not much. He's only been on. This is, I think, only his second season with us.
And it's a shame because maybe they can keep him as the kickoff guy because he does a great job with that.
Yes, he does.
And then they get another guy to.
We're not going to hold 2 kickers though.
Yeah, they're not going to do that for roster spots.
Yeah.
They're just not.
So that means, dude, he has to be off the team. They have to go get somebody else. If they don't, I mean, maybe he gets it figured out. But Elliott did this exact thing all year. And then, we're in the playoffs, and we're like, oh my gosh, we don't know if this guy's going to make a freaking kick.
I was so nervous, right?
A finite piece of news is the Rams had a kicker on their practice squad that they cut. So it sounds like they're preparing to bring someone in for competition, is how I interpreted that.
Okay.
Because why else would you cut a kicker from your practice squad after a struggling week of kicking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, dude, I get so confused because it's like
I do think it's a great point, Mike and Corey. I do think it's one of your guys
it's our worst part of the game right now.
The Rams can go into any stadium, they can play anyone, and they can win. Right? Like, I think there's no team that's really unbeatable right now, or like that's head and shoulders above. But this is a significant downgrade compared to your peers. And it showed in the Eagles game. We blocked.
I was going to say, look at the Eagles game. If we had a kicker and a decent special team, and part of the analysis we talked about it is Hardy was kicking the ball so low too. Like what was it, like a 30-yard field goal? There should hardly ever be a chance for them to just stick their hand up and block it. And then at the end of the 49ers game, we went for it twice on 4th down in the red zone. And McVay's not that aggressive of a coach. He's just historically is not. Exactly. I don't think he was. No, he's more by the books.
He's by the book.
I thought he was more aggressive.
Dude, he's not Dan Campbell. He's the opposite. Dan Campbell's like 4th and 9. Let's go for it.
Yeah, let's go for it. But I think they're going for it on 4th because they don't trust the kickers.
Yeah. Yeah. I just see Sean McVay as more I see someone who's conservative, like Mike Tomlin, who does nothing with that. And then I
don't think he's
Dan
nothing.
Campbell.
Yeah,
I think Sean McVay is closer to the more aggressive person.
Mike Tomlin isn't an offensive mind. McVay's an offensive mind. That's really what you're pointing out. He's an offensive mind, but he's not super aggressive way that Dan Campbell.
I really don't see on a regular game, the Rams really don't go for it much on 4th.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, they don't.
I would though if I were them. Like Stafford,
I would too.
On like 4th and 5, like I would trust him throwing that ball like 10 times out of 10.
They should 4th and 4 or better across the 50. Money. They should be going for realistic.
Yeah, dude.
Just to show how mental Cardi is, he misses an extra point, which is what 35 yards. He misses an extra point, 35 yards, wide left. Then he misses a 39-yard field goal 2 drives later, wide right.
I didn't know it was 39.
On the same day that Cam Little drills a 68-yarder.
I know.
What is happening?
Here's some even crazier stats for you guys. I just pulled up Cardi's profile here. And this is crazy because there's only 32 teams in the NFL. He has a 66.7% field goal percentage.
Oh, it's so bad.
Which means he's tied. And this is the craziest part. He's tied for 37. 37. He's not even in, like, there's non-starting kickers. Yeah,
I didn't know it was this bad. You guys had to get rid of him before.
At least Elliott last year, he was missing all 50 plus, right? He was like 0 of 8 from 50 plus. Cardi's missing 30, 35, and 40 yarders.
Extra point percentage, 88.5, tied 35th.
It's terrible.
The longest field goal he's made is 51 yards, tied for 32nd. The only thing he has is 53 points scored, tied for 23rd, but that's because the Rams offense is putting up so many points. He has so many chances at kicking extra points. Like,
I'm actually predicting I think you guys have the talent to go 2-1 over the next 3 games. And I think you should beat the Niners and you should either beat the Seahawks or Bucks. The only reason it will not happen is if Cardi misses a late field goal, which I think
not even late, but just like early field goals, because Sean McVay, he was asked about it and he's like, it's a momentum killer. It's like you just have a long 90-yard drive, 80-yard drive, and you miss the extra point. Or like you get down, you drive from like the 20 to the 30, a nice long like 6-7 minute drive, and you miss the field goal. It's like that's it's so much more than just missing the points.
Yeah.
And kicking, apparently, like according to what I'm hearing and stuff, has never been easier. Obviously, with these long field goals. Apparently they have
they can have the special footballs now for just kicking.
They have a special kicking ball, which is like super inflated,
which is why they're making so many of them.
Yeah,
yeah, and like if you watch that 68-yarder by whoever it was on the Jags, Mike?
Yeah, Jags.
Little, bro. That guy hit a 70-yarder in Detroit in the preseason. He's a stud.
Yeah, and like that would have been good from 70 yards.
It would have. Yeah,
they literally hiked the ball in their own 50.
I know.
Yeah, imagine
that's kind of stupid.
And it changes the game. It's like, so you're getting the ball, let's imagine it's
at
a touchback.
35.
So now they're getting the ball at the 35. They need to go 15 yards to get 3 points.
One first down, first down, 3 and out.
It was the 50-yard line, but dude, they're only going to do that if it's right before the half, right? So Aubrey hit like a 65-yarder earlier this year against the Giants, and it was right before the end of the game.
He hit that pretty easily. I would be doing it much more than just before the half.
Well, dude, you're not going to do that if you're 4th and 8 at the 50-yard line. The reason you don't do that is then they get the ball at your 42 or 40.
Hey, he's 1 for 1 beyond 60.
I still think the only time you're going to see those field goals is going to be right before half. It is wild though. Nowadays, if the kickoff goes to the end zone, you need one completion. Because dude, he'll drill it from 73. One completion for 10 yards, 73-yard field goal.
Yeah,
it's unreal. Like, dude, it's wild. If you're playing the Jags or you're playing the Cowboys, specifically in a dome, especially if it's like in Dallas, if you score with 5 seconds left to go up by a point, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Is that not insane? Because, well, I'll give it 10 seconds. All right. If you score to go up by a point with 10 seconds
with the timeout,
you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
That's dumb. They've got to change something.
If they have a timeout in 10 seconds, you're going to lose. It's insane.
I'm not trying to watch a kick.
What do you think would have to change? Because they're making kicking easier. How would they make it harder?
2 rules.
Okay.
3. 1, you shorten the goalpost, which won't happen.
Oh yeah, make him skinny.
2, you make a rule that you cannot attempt a field goal if the ball's in your own half. And then 3, go back to the normal kicking balls. Forget these. Like for me as a viewer, watching a 60-some yard field goal is like cool one time. Like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you go for 4th and 2 in your own territory than try to some 8,000-yard kick. Like,
Dude,
where I'm at the TV, I'm like this. I'm like, is it going?
You don't want him to do. You don't want him to do the golden kick that Pat McAfee recommended. I would love it.
I don't even know what that is.
Game. So, for instance, a Jags Raiders game.
Oh,
the Raiders are at the 1 yard line.
Oh.
They go for 2 because they're like, we don't want to tie. But if they did this, they would kick the extra point, go to a tie after overtime, and then they do a kickoff. It's the golden kick, kicker to kicker. Now the Jags would win, so maybe the Raiders would have gone for it anyway because they're like.
So is it like a shootout with just?
It's
kickers?
A shootout, but with field goals. So they would start with like a 30. They would do a 35-yarder kick.
Who wants to watch that?
Kick, 45. Dude, they would be electric.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
that's not even football.
You don't want that because Cardi sucks, and Cardi would miss the 35-yarder and be over right away.
I don't want that for any kicker. I don't care if we had Little on the team.
Dude,
I want less and less kicking.
Dude, if there was that and the Eagles were in it with Jake Elliott, it would be so electric. I'd be so in. Not for the playoffs.
The kickers already scored too many points. Like, the fact that you look at like the leading scorers and they're all kickers.
Dude, I would be to me it'd be electric. If they got to like 60 yards, you're like, oh my gosh, who's gonna drill it? Like
it would be like, I agree from like a visual standpoint. So one, if I could watch like 2 AFC teams with great kickers go at it, like in this sudden death, I think it'd be entertaining.
You don't think it'd be entertaining to watch Jake Elliott and be like, dude, is he gonna make the 50-yarder to win? Oh, no. He missed 2. They got to do it again.
No, dude, I'd be like, this is dumb. I'm not watching football. Why do I have a Saquon Barkley jersey? Why do I have a Jalen Hurts jersey?
Mike, I will say this. If they are just, you know how the kickers warm up and they just are oblivious to anything else on the field? Let the offensive and defense play. Simultaneously have the kickers do a kickoff like no one else is on the field.
Oh, my God.
That's what I would watch.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. To me, a walk-off field goal, if it's like a 50-yarder plus, might be the most electric moment. Like, a Hail Mary is not exciting.
Yes, it is.
A Hail Mary.
Are you kidding me?
Just wait. If my team's at the 50-yard line and they're going to launch a Hail Mary towards the end zone and it's going to be a prayer, maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't, I'd rather watch Jake Elliott kick a 50-yard field goal to win a game than throw a Hail Mary. Hail Mary's dumb. I'm like,
dude, this is the hottest take I've ever heard.
Their chances of catching a Hail Mary from the 50, look at the numbers. It's like 4%. I mean, the chances of Jake Elliott making a 50-yarder or 55-yarder is hot. Like, it makes it so interesting. Yeah, and it's way closer to 50%.
I do agree. Like, if we have a chance at a 58-yarder, if we're down by 2 points, I'd much rather go for the field goal because, statistically, it's a way better decision. Yeah. But in terms of the point you're making earlier,
excitement,
like I don't want to I don't want to watch this like random kickoff. Like
no. I'm talking about Ryan. I'm talking about to end a game. So a game is about to end. The Eagles are down by a point. What's more exciting? They're at the 50-yard line and Jalen's about to launch a Hail Mary to the end zone, or Jake Elliott's about to kick a 60-yarder. What is more exciting to you?
Well, that point.
If anyone says a Hail Mary, what the heck are you talking about? It's such a point. You're like, all right.
But it's like you're either doing a kick or you're doing a Hail Mary. There's like a yardage there. Like, I wouldn't be excited about them doing a Hail Mary if I thought that they could make the field goal instead. I'm like, why are you doing that? Now with Cardi, I'm like, okay, anything past 30 yards out, let's go for the Hail Mary.
Don't even look at it as 2 separate situations. Don't look at it as the same situation. 2 separate situations.
2 separate situations.
You're at the 50-yard line, so you're not going to kick a 70-yarder. Is it more exciting to you watching Stafford throw a Hail Mary to the end zone to try to win a game on the final play, or your kicker
or a kicker going for 70 yards?
No, or a kicker kicking like a 55-yard field goal. What's more exciting?
I think the Hail Mary. If it goes through,
that's the hottest take I've ever heard. That's insane.
No. You're asking me which one would be more exciting.
Dude, their chances of catching is 4%. The chance of the field goal is like 60%.
I'm assuming that both are happening. So I'm winning the game either way. That's how you have to compare.
No, you're not winning the game either way. This is
okay. So I'm losing the game. So I'm either going to miss a field goal or miss the Hail Mary.
No. One could make, one could miss, one could make, one could miss. Hail Marys are not exciting because they don't hit. That's the reason they're not exciting. That's why it's not a hot take.
Dude,
because
seeing Aaron Rodgers roll out in that
and launch it up there,
dude, look at
that's pure entertainment.
Look at the Bills Chiefs game. Mahomes rolls out, he's under pressure, launches it. Ball lands at the freaking 10-yard line. He gets batted down. Kelsey's like on the ground. It's like that was the dumbest
field goal
end to a game I've ever
it?
seen. No, to me, if the Chiefs were lining up, if they were down by 3 and they were lining up for a 55, 60-yard field goal with Butker, that would be way more exciting than that Hail Mary at the end. The Hail Mary was stupid.
All right.
No way.
I think I have a solution.
Okay.
So Mike, I totally understand what you're saying. But
I'm confused. I don't get it.
So for me, why the field goal is exciting is because our team can win the game on this field goal. And why I think the Hail Mary is less because of the percentages, it's not really
That's exactly the point. It's not going to happen. So why would you be excited about it?
But I'm gonna think of an example. Like, let's say if you have the Rams kicker and your ball's on the 50-yard line, I'd much rather do a Hail Mary because then if it's equal percentage chance of winning or losing, I think the Hail Mary is the more exciting play than watching a ball go through uprights.
Yes. You guys are talking about if both were to be successful, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about which would you rather see, an attempted Hail Mary or an attempted field goal?
No, that's not how you posed it. You asked which one would be more exciting.
You said
which more exciting.
Yeah, that's attempted. Different. No, more exciting. Yeah, more exciting is different than which one you would hope for. It's not more exciting
to watch a Hail Mary get attempted because you know it's not going to work out. Ryan, give me an example of an Eagles Hail Mary that they caught from the 50-yard line or beyond in your lifetime. Please give me an example.
I don't think I've ever. Oh,
exactly the point.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, it doesn't happen. That's why if it was the 50-yard line, you'd be sitting there like, oh, game's over. All right, let's go home. Why are we even watching?
All right, let's
you
say
wouldn't even watch it.
Maybe for a non-true fan, I have hope up to the end.
No, Corey, I believe you would watch it. You would watch every last heartbreaking second of the Hail Mary. But Ryan, I don't believe you would watch a Hail Mary at the end of the game if they're down. You'd be like, game's over. What's the point? Let's go play pickle.
Yeah, I think I'm mixing in the probability and excitement. I still think
That's a big part of it.
A pure excitement play is Hail Mary, but the field goal to win the game is obviously maybe a more exciting
choice. It would be the preferred
based on the probability because you can win the game.
So when your team is lining up to do the play, the question is, which are you more excited for before the play happens? That is the whole argument.
If the field goal doesn't win me the game, Hail Mary.
Yep.
Well, of course I'm talking about a game-winning field goal. That's what I'm talking. That was the whole point. A game-winning field goal versus a game-winning Hail Mary opportunity. Which is more exciting?
The Hail Mary, if they caught that Hail Mary, that would 100% be more exciting.
But we're talking about how they line up, Corey. There's no way you're excited about your team at the 50 just throwing up a prayer. Like, all right, let's see what happens. Ryan can't even name.
I would be. I think I would be excited.
Getting ready for the Hail Mary?
Yeah, I mean that means we're not in kicking
Ryan
range.
wouldn't even watch it. He would literally.
Ryan wouldn't watch the field goal. He wouldn't watch the field goal.
No, he would. He would stand behind a post like this, and he would peek around But that's exciting. That's what's exciting about it. Is he would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna miss or not." The Hail Mary would be like, "All right, let's."
All right. Let me
very passionate about this.
We didn't even get to Stafford.
We didn't get to Stafford or my NFC question. We got to nothing. All right.
If anyone watches this segment, they're gonna be like,
"Why?" This is from you, dude. You completely derailed us with all this field goal talk.
You guys were the ones talking craziness.
No, dude, you're the one who brought up Pat McAfee's rule.
Yeah, you were. That's a ridiculous rule. To have a shootout between
Can we
kickers?
all agree now that Stafford is 100% under the radar as an MVP candidate?
Yes, that's what I was.
I don't think anybody's talking. I don't think anybody's really talking.
No one's one guy on Fox Sports mentioned him today, and I like Dan Orlovsky said like he would vote for him as his MVP. Obviously, things are so week by week in the NFL, and Stafford had an amazing day, and like Mahomes did not have the best day against the Bills. You know what I mean? So it's very week by week, but I think Stafford has a legit shot of winning the MVP, and especially at his age. And if the Rams have an easier schedule, I would say, than a lot of the top teams, especially the Eagles. Yeah. And if they can get the top seed in the NFC, I think Stafford can win MVP. That's my hot take. But
why are people so high on Drake May? Can someone answer that? I just don't. I don't really get it.
Well, one, he's been playing awesome, and he's brand new. Like he's like new. He's like Barkley was last year, in terms of like just out of a cannon in terms of like I think stats, turnover ratio, and the Patriots are.
All right. When we come back from the break, I want to compare Drake May and Matthew Stafford's.
Yeah, let's talk about it more.
That's what I want to do.
All right. Okay. Back after the break.
Bring more fun to your rounds with Birdie Board, the golf app designed for matches with friends. Choose the format you love: stroke play, match play, Stableford, with or without teams, handicaps or not. Invite your friends, and Birdie Board does the rest. Just enter your score and focus on the fun, while we keep track of everything, including stats like lowest score and worst hole. Download Birdie Board today on the App Store or Google Play, and let the games begin.
All right, so MVP conversation, Stafford's like, I think, third or fourth. First is Josh Allen, which is just boring because he won last year. Second is Drake May. So I have some stats pulled up for Drake May if you want to pull up some, Mike, for...
I have Stafford's.
All right, so Drake May's fourth in yards, 2,200. He has 17 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a 75 QBR.
Yeah,
so honestly, pretty solid, kind of top 5, top 10 in each.
Yeah.
I think Stafford's got way more touchdowns.
He's right there in yards. He has 21 touchdowns, so he's 4 more touchdowns.
Yep.
Only 2 picks, which I think should mean a lot. Yeah. And 21-47, so he's short by less than 100 yards.
Wow. So honestly, would take the
stats say Stafford in a second over May. Now, I wonder what the comparison is here. I'm pulling up Josh Allen right now. Josh Allen is 1833 with 13 touchdowns and 4 picks. That makes no sense.
Yeah, but
the only reason is his running. He does have the rushing.
That's true. Stafford probably doesn't. Maybe has 18 yards on the season.
There was a video of him trying to be a lead blocker.
Yes,
in this last game.
It was so funny.
He did nothing. He barely threw a shoulder.
Yeah, he was like, he's like, I threw some pads, but he barely did.
He barely did.
Allen has 280 yards rushing.
Yeah, but he has 6 touchdowns rushing, doesn't he?
He has 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he still, if you combine his rushing with his passing, he still has 233. He would basically have if you combine all the stats for Allen, he has 90 more yards overall than Stafford, and he has 1 less touchdown, and he has 2 more picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that. To me, that doesn't make sense.
Do you think it could be the opponent difficulty?
Maybe. Yeah, honestly.
Because the Rams have only played 2, maybe arguably 3 good opponents.
I've heard the people who end up voting for MVP status, a lot of it comes down to stats and then how you perform on the primetime games.
Primetime games.
So Stafford on Thursday night.
Josh Allen just balled out.
Yes. Yeah. Stafford lost on Thursday night. Allen just beat the Chiefs on primetime, and he beat the Ravens in primetime to open the season. He did lose to the Pats Sunday night game, though. So.
Yeah. True.
But I think one thing with Stafford, which is very apparent, is, yes, I think that's a big judge of things, but it's also about where you started. I don't even think Stafford was in the top 10 at the beginning of the season, maybe not even top 15 in terms of MVP race. And now he's climbed all the way up to 3. So yes, it's on the big stages, but I actually do think he's getting valued from those bigger games, just shown in how many spots he's climbed up.
Yeah. Do they count sacks as rushing for quarterbacks?
I don't think so.
Stafford has 21 carries for -6 yards.
That's got to be sacks then.
It's got to be sacks.
It's got to be
sacks. It has to be because I'm like, dude, is the guy running backwards?
Yeah, I was gonna say Stafford isn't rushing. He hasn't rushed.
He like goes past the line of scrimmage and then turns around.
He's like, nope, not getting tackled. Nope,
not trying to get hit.
I was even thinking like, oh, maybe they're counting like QB sneaks, but there's no way we've done 21 QB sneaks. Like Stafford's not a QB. Like McVay tells you that. Like,
speaking of, sorry, super side note. I have to get this in. Sean McDermott was the biggest component against the tush push, besides the Packers at the league meeting, saying it is a safety hazard. You know, the Bills have more tush push touchdowns this year than the Eagles do.
Do they really?
What should you be allowed to say things like that?
He's gonna go to the league meetings next year and be like, "No, we can't. We should keep it. There's nothing wrong with it."
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's been against it. No,
but they've been tush pushing.
Ryan, he's pitched because they tush pushed against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and because they didn't have a freaking line judge who could see properly, they called Allen short when he got the first down. And the Chiefs won the game. It was absolute baloney.
Yeah, they got stopped twice in that game.
Yeah, and they did.
But you're right.
They did the first time. The second time they attempted in the fourth quarter, which was the important one, he clearly got the first down. And then they continued momentum backwards. And it was like, dude, forward progress. What are we doing? Yeah. And in an AFC Championship game, that's pretty painful. So
I saw that. It made me so mad. But all right, anyway, we're going to transition. I'm all for Stafford, kind of with the MVP conversation. I think it'd be an awesome story. I'd much rather
one thing. I think you guys would like to hear.
Go for it.
If Hurts had 400 more passing yards, do you guys think he would be number one in the ranking? Because he has.
I gotta look at his stats.
He has 15 touchdowns on the season and only 1 interception, and he has 1677 passing yards. So he's not super far off. Rushing yards.
And I don't think anyone's had a harder strength of schedule than us.
Yeah.
Let's see where here. But his rushing's what's interesting. He has 207 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. So he's
he
70 yards short of Allen, 2 touchdowns short. He's 200 yards passing short of Allen, but has 2 more touchdown throws.
I put a lot of value on the interceptions, though.
Yeah.
Like to have one and we're more than halfway through the season. That's impressive.
Yeah. It was a horrible pick.
It was almost a pick six.
It was such a bad pick. When you have an AJ wide open in the end zone, you're like, Frank.
Yeah. But no, Corey, I do think it's a great point. I do think he always gets overlooked.
Yeah,
and he's honestly having an amazing year from a passing standpoint. The past 3 games, so I think it's all going to come down to who's going to be the number 1 seed in the conferences. So if that's Hurts over Stafford or Drake May gets the number 1 or Josh Allen, I think it comes down to team success a lot. And again, the points Mike was making earlier on primetime games, stats. Those type of things. Like Carson Wentz's MVP season in 2017 is because he had these massive games in prime time.
Yeah.
Like against the Commanders. Like little things like that. But go ahead, Mike.
Jalen will have a chance. I said it last week. I said if Jalen comes out and balls out against the Packers, and then especially doesn't ball out against the Lions too, because it's a Monday night, Sunday night, and then they're prime time against Dallas. Yeah. And then they're Black Friday against the Bears. So he's got 4 games.
No sleep.
If he were to ball out those 4 games, but specifically, I just said if he balls out against the Packers after what he did the last 2 weeks, he should be in the conversation with Stafford, Allen, and I still don't know why Drake May's in it. I don't think he should be.
I think Ryan made a good point. He's just kind of like the hot stuff this year.
Yeah,
his stats are not that impressive to me, and he looks okay.
Yeah, and the Patriots have been irrelevant since Brady left, and they're finally deep, pretty good. So
everyone's all excited about it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, transitioning. So next week's games we have Rams versus Niners, Eagles versus Packers. We're going to start with the Eagles versus Packers just because we haven't talked about them yet. obviously, massive game. The Packers took a small step back. They lost on a game-ending field goal to Carolina, and the Panthers won by Bryce Young only throwing, I think, 100 yards passing. Pretty crazy. So the Eagles have had a busy week. Howie continues to just grind on everything. Before I get to the Eagles trades, I want to read you a quote from our NFC East rival, Jerry Jones. So Jerry said last week, this is a Wall Street Journal interview. So obviously Jerry got a lot of his money in the oil industry. Right. That's how he bought the Cowboys. If anyone wants to watch a good documentary, watch that America's Team. It's honestly fascinating. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's edited by Jerry Jones, so it makes him look like he's a genius. But
he's a god.
Yeah, it makes him look like he's a god, honestly. But anyway, so he said there's $100 billion of present value with gas. That's why I'm talking to you rather than fixing our defense. So that is the Eagles' biggest competitor in our division, is an owner and GM that literally says that. So while Jerry Jones is doing that, Howie made, I think, 3 trades. Mike, you can correct me, over the past 2 weeks. So the first trade was he traded John Mechie, who we picked up from a different trade. I've actually liked him. He's dealt a lot with some injuries, some kind of personal stuff in his past. They traded him for a 6th round in 2027 for Michael Carter II and a 7th in 2027. So pretty much the Eagles traded John Mechie for a cornerback, Michael Carter II. Following that, we traded for cornerback Jaire Alexander, which I was really excited about, Core. And then Mike told me he's done, and I looked up. Yeah. And he's been a healthy scratch for 5 games this year. A healthy scratch. And the last Eagles game, I took Laura to see the Cardinals game, but 2 years ago when Rodgers was on the Packers, I took Laura to see the game. Mike was there, I think, Sunday Night Football, and Jaire Alexander was just in the middle of the field flipping the bird to all the Eagles fans.
He was, dude.
Yeah. And now that man is on our team. And then lastly, shout out to Mark Ferris. We just traded to the Dolphins. Probably the only team that's more embarrassing than the Saints. Or the Browns, like they're right there with them. We traded
the Browns are just the Browns every single year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Browns. So we traded a 3rd for Jalen Phillips, which gives us kind of more D-line depth. Jalen Phillips loves Vic Fangio. He just got interviewed in the airport in Philly. Says he couldn't be happier to be traded to Philly. So obviously a lot of trades. We're going to Monday Night Football against Micah Parsons and the Packers, who just came off a kind of a brutal loss. So, Mike, we'll start with you. Anything you want to cover from the trades to the Monday night game?
So just going in order, I think Michael Carter II is. I'd put him in the middle. I think he's kind of an average pickup. I like that he's a plug and play, specifically in the dime package, because he's a slot. And when you're in the dime, usually the offense is going 4 wide. So you're going to have 2 guys play the slot. And then we don't need a guy like Makuba to move up and play that. He can come in the game. So he'll be a plug-in that spot. I don't think Cooper DeJean's going to go outside. Everyone's talking about Cooper DeJean.
He's not.
He's staying in the slot.
He's too good at slot.
Carter's for the dime package, because I think Makuba struggled a little bit in that position. And then they want Mitchell outside, and they're still going to stick with another guy on the outside. So he'll be a plug-and-play there, and I think that'll be his role. The reason I said Jaire is cooked is because So first off, if you remember, Eagles opened the season in Brazil last year against the Packers. First play of the second half, Jalen hits A.J. Brown for like an 80-yard touchdown, and who'd he burn? Jaire Alexander. And that was the beginning of the end for him. So I did a little bit of a deep dive. Jaire played pretty much the whole game week 1 for the Ravens, who collapsed against the Bills. And when I put 2 and 2 together, he collapsed against the Bills. Gave up 5 catches for 113 yards. Gave up a 30-yard pass interference that put the Bills inside the 10 that led to a touchdown, and then missed a huge tackle late in the game that led to the Bills having the game-winning field goal to win the game. So,
and kind of that onto your point, Mike, I was in WIP, and they said once a cornerback or a safety loses a step, kind of like James Bradbury, they're almost done. And that's what he said on tape is Jair Alexander.
Yes. So then, just to add one more snippet, they bench him because they're like, well, he sucks. Then Humphrey gets hurt. They lose a couple different guys. They're like, well, we got to play. So they put him in against the Texans. And I don't really know what his stats were in the Texans game. All I know is the Texans, who scored 7 points against the Rams and had 240 yards total against the Rams corners, who I still think are trash.
Okay. Just throwing in a little dig there.
They throw for like 300 whatever yards. They have 450 yards of offense, and they put up 44 points in Baltimore, and he's on the field.
This is the worst trade ever.
Dude, the silver lining for him would be he does have experience in the playoffs. He has experience as a good player, and the potential similar, if you wanted to make a comparison, is last year, Corey, I don't know how much you remember this, Rams are in Philly, divisional round, snow game, and Quinyon Mitchell goes down. Isaiah Rodgers steps in. Now, I think Isaiah Rodgers is actually trash. He got burned against the Eagles when we went to Minnesota 2 weeks ago. He got burned against the Chargers the week before. He's been okay. He's like an average player.
He started great.
And he came in that game, and he had the fumble recovery and returned it down to the 5-yard line. And he had a couple big pass breakups, although he got burned multiple times by Nakua. But come on, everyone gets burned by Nakua.
Right.
So is there to me, what Alexander's going to be is I don't think he should be I'm going to come in and be a starter. He's going to be a backup piece who, if Quinyon goes down in the playoffs, he steps in, and who knows, like maybe he steps up big in one game. Like, you don't need him to be the stud guy the rest of the season, but he's just that depth piece in case you lose him. I think Jalen Phillips has the biggest upside of all the guys we just picked up. He tore his Achilles, then tore his ACL last year. So for those who don't understand injuries, it's not just like, hey, it's a year removed, now I'm healthy. It takes the whole season to really recover. I don't think Jalen Phillips, I could be wrong about this, I don't think he will be a factor until the playoffs. Because he will have been given a full season then to really get back into rhythm with his knee and his whole leg with the way it is. And I think he could be huge in the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to be really impactful in the regular season. Anyway, I know that was a lot. Corey, what do you think?
So in the end of the Rams Super Bowl season, if you remember, we picked up Eric Weddle. He wasn't a huge...
From the Chargers?
No, just from free agency.
Oh,
yeah.
But he was
I remember that, Core.
He was just a late season safety pickup for us just to help give us some depth. Similar situation, though, like had a lot of success at one point in his career, kind of fell off. But what he brought to the Rams was leadership during the playoffs. And I think that's what you're getting from Alexander.
He's going to be like this to every NFL fan base.
Exactly. Dude, and he played. I remember watching him play in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not like he'd sit on the sideline. He played.
Yeah,
he played.
I do remember that.
People, especially like the younger players, they're going to remember him being an all-pro. They're not going to remember how he was the last couple of years. So I think it was a great pickup for the Eagles, even though it's not the best player on paper. I think just what he brings to you guys from a mentality point of view and hopefully the leadership point of view, I think it's going to help the Eagles a lot. Especially honestly, you guys have really some young safety players and young secondary, so I think you guys could really benefit from it.
I didn't even think of it from that standpoint, and thinking about our, like, obviously we have Reed Blankenship, which I think can be a leadership, but we are kind of missing that like edge that Charner got, whatever his name is, Mike.
Garner Johnson gave us.
Yeah,
Garner Johnson gave us. So I think that's a great point.
Yeah. So I that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me with the Eagles trade on that.
Yep. All right. Perfect. All right. So Corey, kind of moving into Eagles versus Packers Monday Night Football. Yeah. How do you think that's going to play out, or any matchups, anything you think?
So I think the worst thing that happened for the Eagles is that the Packers lost.
Yeah. Seriously. It's true.
To the Panthers. Now, the Panthers are surprising people this
year. They are. I think they're better than anticipated.
They're a lot better than we anticipated. It's also like people say, oh, they lost to the Panthers, but when people say that, they're thinking about last year's Panthers. They're thinking about the team that barely won a game last year. Yeah. That's not the same team as this year. They've gotten a lot better. So the loss isn't as bad, but I guarantee you the Packers players and everyone are thinking we just lost to last year's Panthers.
Yep.
And it's a home game too. It is tough to win in Lambeau. One of the toughest fields to play at. I believe it's home for the Packers, right?
Yep.
Eagles are going there. If the Eagles can keep riding this passing game that they've kind of found the last couple of games, I think they'll have a good chance at winning. But man, I just don't think things are set up well for them.
Yep. Fair enough. Mike, to you?
Yeah. I've had this game as a loss on the Eagles schedule from the start of the season. And so I don't to me, it's like, what's funny is I had the Rams as a loss too, because I truly believe in the power of revenge. Well, the Eagles were getting wrecked and they came back in the very end. A lot of fluky things happened for that not to go that way. So I agree entirely with Corey. Like when the Packers were losing, part of me was like, well, I want them to lose because I want the advantage in terms of record for like the 1 seed. But I don't want them to lose before they play the Eagles because it just wakes a team up when that happens.
Yeah, especially versus the Panthers.
Yes. I think when you lose a team, the Packers were favored by almost 14. They're favored by like 13 and a half. So when you lose a game like that.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was that much.
Yes, I think what happens is everybody just locks in. Like they stop anything outside of football goes on pause and you just dial it. I think that's what happens when, or you completely collapse like the Eagles did 2 seasons ago. But I don't think that's what this is. And I do expect them to respond pretty strongly in the game. A couple interesting things to note will be Nolan Smith returns, Juergens returns. So you got starting the end, starting center for the Eagles. Obviously, A.J. Brown returns, and Saquon Barkley's questionable. So there's a lot of that transition for the Eagles coming off the bye that will be interesting. Last thing to note is the Eagles have, under Sirianni, I believe, are undefeated out of the bye. I think it's deceiving because last year out of the bye, they played the Browns, and Sirianni shaved his head and was cussing out Eagles fans because they looked so bad against the Browns, who sucked. And they were booing them because it was the most embarrassing win of the season. And that was after a bye.
Yeah.
And the season before, we played out of the bye the Chiefs on a Monday night, and we won because Mahomes slightly overthrew, I can't remember, somebody. And it was an ugly win, and we did not play well. And it was just ugly. Like the last 2 years, we have played ugly football out of the bye. I don't know why. I wonder if guys get out of rhythm. And I think for a lot of teams, bye isn't great. Like, yes, it's rest, but it gets you out of rhythm. And I do expect the Eagles to look more out of rhythm in Green Bay on Monday night. Yeah. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, so listen to this stat. So the Eagles are 2.5-point underdogs at Lambeau, right? Yep. So this is the 5th time in 2 years that they've been underdogs, and since the start of 2024. They were underdogs week 3 at New Orleans last year, 2.5. They were underdogs week 8 at Cincinnati, 2.5. And they were underdogs at Baltimore, 3.5. They were underdogs in the Super Bowl. Then we've been favored in every game this year, at least in some aspect.
Wow.
So Eagles are 4-0 in those games where we're underdogs. And the average margin of defeat, we beat those teams by 11.5 or more points.
Wow.
Which I think is crazy.
Well, we trounced the Bengals. I remember that.
Yeah. Trounced the Bengals and obviously like Kansas City. So I do think that this is going to be a great game. I do think the Eagles are very difficult to beat when they're fully healthy. And obviously like we'll have, I think, our entire O-line back and maybe our entire D-line. I don't know if we're going to miss anybody. I don't think we're as good as we were last year. As you guys know, I thought the Giants were going to beat us handedly, and Mike showed that off last week, and rightfully so. I think this game could go either way. I do agree a lot with Core. I think I picked the Eagles to win this game except for the fact that Carolina just beat them at home, which is kind of embarrassing. And sorry, it's not embarrassing. You're right. The Panthers are a new team, and NFL's hard to win in, but they're going to gear up. Like Micah was already talking about the Eagles game before the Panthers game, and it's Monday night home game for them in Lambeau. They're against the reigning world champs. They're going to get so psyched up and locked in for this that it's going to be very difficult.
Game of the week for sure.
Yeah, game of the week for sure. And I swear, if ESPN and YouTube TV don't work their crap out, like I literally can't watch this game right now. The Dallas game. If they don't work their crap out, I'm over it because I need to be able to watch.
They're like
this
a
game.
Girlfriend and boyfriend fighting right now.
I know. They're like, yeah.
It's so true.
It's so frustrating.
I keep getting emails to like keepmynetworks.com or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's brutal. I saw this tweet. I had to show you guys. It said Barstool said this is the Browns versus Jets next week at 1:00. It says they got to flex this game to ESPN on YouTube TV.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, that's great. All right, so we're actually going to predict.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
One more question. Do you think that the Eagles' number 2 cornerback spot is now weird because you have Keely Ringo, who apparently played well against the Giants. I don't know. I think he's trash. And then you had Adoree Jackson coming off of concussion protocol, plus Jacorian Bennett coming off of his pec injury. So I think all 3 are potentially available, plus Jair Alexander and Michael Carter II are all in the squad now. So it's like, who's going to start at the CB2? If you had to make best guess,
I'm so over this QB2 spot.
Who do you think starts at CB2? Just that prediction.
I think we should go with Bennett.
I agree. I think they should give him a chance.
I mean, because every other person has gotten a chance, and none of them look better than the other. They all look below average. Honestly, I want Quinyon to just travel with the number 1 guy, and then the whole defense plays zone.
Yeah.
That's what I want, which I know is not even possible. Or honestly, put Zach Bond on their cornerback too.
Okay, well, that would work out.
Put Jalen Carter. Let's
go
point.
Predictions.
All right, predictions. Let me recap where we're at. We all won last week, so not anything changed. That puts me and Mike tied at 9-6 on the season, and then Ryan at 10-5. So
I own the tiebreaker over Corey, so I'm in the middle.
Okay, well, you own the tiebreaker over all of us.
I do.
First place, baby. All right,
I think that tiebreaker is going to make the difference at the end of the season.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do Eagles, Packers predictions, and then we're going to go into a little bit of the Rams, Niners. So, Mike, we're going to start with you, brother. Packers, Eagles, Monday night.
Well, so yeah, I was already saying I'm going to stick to what I said at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to say Packers take it. If I do a score, I didn't actually think about a score. I'm going to say 27-21.
All right, locked in.
All right, Core.
I think the Packers as well. I'm going to go 28-25.
Ryan, you have a chance to take a bigger lead.
What are you going to go with, Ryan?
Does he take it?
I am going to ride.
He's going Birds.
With the Birds, baby.
Oh, man.
Let's go. Come on.
I'm honestly 50-50, but because you guys both picked Packers,
you got to go.
I'm gonna ride with the Eagles. Honestly, like I think my gut just tells me based on that performance they're on Sunday by the Packers. I think they're an overall better team right now, but there's a lot of headwinds. So I'm gonna go 30-27. I think it's gonna be a little higher scoring. Eagles. Come on, baby.
Let's go.
I can't wait to be decked out in green next week.
I know, your chains.
Well, so wait, you're not going to be decked out because we're going to be doing recording before the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we can't do that.
Monday.
We got to record. We got to record like Tuesday or late
Tuesday,
Monday.
It would be Tuesday at like 8:00.
Yeah.
Or 8:30.
There's no way that we're recording before the Eagles game.
Well,
right?
That's what it's going to end up being. I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna have to recap.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah. Go. Let's go. Rams Niners.
All right. Next game is Rams versus Niners. So this is actually in San Fran. So the Rams are.
Yes. I think that's going to help the Rams.
yeah, exactly. The San Fran is going to infiltrate LA.
It will help the Rams.
So the Rams are actually favored by 3.5, which is
as it should be.
Yep. So honestly, I am surprised that the Niners have 6 wins. I think Mac Jones has been doing well with that team. Obviously, they have a bunch of injuries. So, any key thoughts, opinions on the game? Cora, we'll start with you because this is your team.
Yeah, I'll be quick because I know we don't have a ton of time left. I think the biggest advantage is what I kind of alluded to, just the Rams playing away. It's tough to play in your home field when it doesn't feel like a home game. So I think it's just going to help. And the Rams are playing really well right now. And we talked about this earlier in the season. It's tough to beat the same team twice in a year. So I think the Rams are set up well for this game.
Let's go. I'm going to pick. I think the Rams have been hot ever since that performance in London. Kind of without Puka, I thought they looked amazing yesterday. The Niners, I think they're obviously well coached, Kyle Shanahan, but I do agree with Core. Hard to win 2 games, especially kind of within like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ride with the Rams. I'm gonna go 27-17. I think the Niners defense is pretty decent. So
I didn't give my score. I'm going with an odd score here. 32-22 Rams.
Whoa!
Both are odd.
He should get 2 points. He should get
I know, right?
2 points if he gets
if I get
right.
either of those numbers right.
You guys are funny, dude.
All right, Mike, take us home.
Fun stat for you to close it out. Who do you guys think is the 49ers leading receiver this year?
Juwan Jennings.
He is 4th.
Christian McCaffrey,
60 run receptions for 626 yards. Who do you think's next on the list?
Kendrick Bourne.
Yes. 200 yards less than that. That is trash. Okay? You're not a good freaking team when your running back has the most receiving yards by 200 yards. And you shouldn't be winning. That's just dumb. Now, kudos to their coaching. Seriously. I think the coaching is unbelievable. You got to give Shanahan credit, and you got to give their D coordinator credit as well.
Yep.
Salah. So, because I really think their personnel are not that good. I mean, they're okay. They're decent. They should be a 500 team. The Niners should be like 9-8 this year at best. And so, I'm going Rams. I'll say 26-23. Wait, was that the score of the first game?
Rams.
Yes, 26-23. Okay,
you're going with it again.
Swapped, but now the Rams win.
Okay.
Like, you just ripped on the Niners, but then you said it's going to be only a 3-point game.
Well, it's still a divisional game. I mean, divisional teams will. But no, I would not be surprised if the Rams win this game by like two touchdowns.
Yeah. I think the Rams are in a much better position than they were against the Niners before.
Salah's so good, and Shanahan's good at like using what he has. So like when you have good coaches, you'll make games close, even if your team is just garbage.
Yeah. Agreed.
I like to overemphasize how the Niners are obviously decent, and they'll probably make the playoffs, but they're just not that good. And like, dude, even if they lose to you guys, they're going to play the Cardinals and the Panthers and the Browns, and then the Titans. Those are the next 4 games.
Right.
So they could easily be 10-4 or 9-5.
Man, the Eagles got shafted with their schedule.
Dude, brutal. We have one of the hardest schedules by far.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I mean, I get it though. It's kind of how it should be, but
if you win the Super Bowl, you should have to play. Yeah, you should have to play.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, guys. Any last thoughts on anything happened this week, trades or next week? Any random stat, Mike? You got?
No, dude. Cowboys are losing right now, 10-7. Suck it. I hope they lose to the Cardinals. If they lose to the Cardinals, it's over. Division's over. NFC East is the Birds. It's wrapped up because it's close at that point. So,
if that does happen, I think this is the first time in over 20 years that there'd be
a
back-to-back winner. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah.
That wraps up this week's episode of Coast to Coast Sports. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the show with a fellow football fan. From Philly to LA and around the league, we'll be back next week with more sports talk.